why, or I guess, how did you handle the changes in time periods in Pachinko?
There's one way of looking at cinema simply as a succession of moments in time, because that's how we receive it. It's like A meets B and C, and it just runs along. There's another way of looking at it, of course, more as a depiction of space. So that actually time doesn't really matter that much. It's more the way that you depict space and how you actually ground people in the space that they're living. And, in the main character, Sunja, both timelines, in a way, happen simultaneously. One is that, her grandson is visiting her. And the other one is, of course, all the memories of her past. Now, the series itself starts linear in a way that we are being told the story of Sunja being born and then growing up. But then it cuts quite quickly to Solomon. And I thought it's far more interesting to challenge the audience, if you get to almost diffuse some of the framework, so that the unexpected stimulates you more. You're opening yourself actually more to the story. We felt as if we had done it by the book. You kind of cut over, say, "Oh, I'm here. Oh, I'm there." So it just keeps it. You keep the audience more on their toes, so to say. And hopefully, enable people to engage more, because there's a lot of things, of course, that could keep you from engaging. It's all in foreign language, it's subtitled, so that was our way of entry into this. And I'm very happy about that, by the way. I think
having having some consistency in it, I think, is helpful as, an English-speaking audience member watching it. I see what you mean. It's like you don't want to have too much distraction going on. But you had mentioned something a moment ago about this idea of capturing space and characters in space. What do you mean by that?
Well, we always thought that when she actually leaves, which is in episode 4, this is when the second block takes over. And I want to credit, director Justin Chon and his DOP, Antti Cheng, then took over and continued the second block of the series. She goes to Japan. She gets to Osaka and ends up in this tiny neighborhood with like really cramped spaces. This girl has grown up on an island, very poor, but exposed to the countryside, to the elements, and suddenly she sits in this tiny little box in Osaka. So we felt that in the first 3 episodes, we really wanted to ground people so that basically, as an audience, we have kind of had the same experience, the same spatial experience. So by the moment she actually, walks down the tiny little street and ends up in this little box house, that you almost feel it. And you don't even need to, the characters don't need to talk about it. You can just feel when the moment she opens the door, puts out the washing in that courtyard, you go like, God, this is crazy. The difference. That's what I associated, and Kogonada talked about, and I talked about the concept of space.
So that's more in the set design. That's more in the the locations that you're choosing, versus creating a different world through lens and camera.
It's a bit, although it is an abstract way of saying we would shoot it quite loose. So basically we didn't want to end up just in the close-ups. And also we shot large format digital cinematography. So, digital cinematography has advanced a lot with the sensor sizes getting bigger and bigger. Now, I personally, I'm not that much interested in the gain of resolution. I find it rather interesting how the field of view changes with the lens. So basically, if the sensor gets bigger, the field of view gets bigger as well. And you can use, like a 50 mil that probably has about the field of view of 27. So you can compose, iconic close-ups while still, giving more, like almost like shooting anamorphic, like allowing more of the spatial orientation. So we would shoot looser, our close-ups would be like from shoulder up, we very rarely went really tight. We shot large format. And this way, we wanted to create a more like a constant awareness of space, as opposed to traditional way to say shoot a wide shot and then you go in and go get tighter.